Welcome back to episode 2 in Unions 101, the podcast Amazon does not want you to hear. I'm one of your hosts, Ira, coworker at DBK4 in Queens, New York. I also used to be a UPS worker and a member of the Teamsters Union and a steward and elected union rep. Who have I got here with me?
You've got Alvin. I do not have as extensive a record as this man. He's just flexing at this point. I usually go and talk to you about the union sometimes whenever I feel like it.
Yes, sir. Although you have participated in quite a bit of in-depth research on unions with me, specifically for this drive and for this podcast. So yeah, today we're going to talk about a little thing called union busting. There's been a fresh wave of union busting at the warehouse, so I think it's great if we talk about it.
And it's also very targeted union busting, especially against the Teamsters.
Just to give a brief intro on the concept, what is union busting?
Union busting is the way that corporations basically break the spirit of a union. It targets employees with these nice, smiling, well-meaning looking individuals. They come in and they will use all forms of doublespeak to try and make you be against the idea of a union. Anything to get you on their side. They'll say that management always cares about you, always has, despite your personal experiences, but especially now, they have gone explicitly against the union, which is new to me.
Yeah, they try to make the Teamsters out to be this big scary business
Very
that's
big, scary third party that
just
doesn't
that.
care about you
Yeah,
and
that's just
steals your money.
after your money. But so yeah, let's talk a little bit about union busting in the general, still a little bit more. So union busters, they will call themselves consultants. Amazon will call them consultants, or they'll call them employee relations. Employee relations was literally invented to be a little bit more soft touch, seductive form of union busting. For instance, one of the original union busting firms was this organization called Pinkerton Detectives, and they would literally come in and spy and beat up and threaten and follow and
Oh, they
show.
shoot you, man.
Yeah, while I was getting there, they would show up at your home and flash a gun at you, or and then they actually got in some gun battles and they actually assassinated some union organizers. So back in the day, union busting was very violent, but it turned a lot of the public against the companies, but primarily for the purpose of union busting not being so outrageous and turning the public against the companies and the workers even more against the companies. They took a little bit more gentle approach, a little bit more of a psychological manipulation. And that was the birth of employee relations. Now they have entire firms, like entire companies, to come manipulate and scare people out of unions. There was actually a book called Confessions of a Union Buster by this guy, Martin J. Levitt. And he was a union buster in one of these union busting firms, a consultant that ran hundreds of union busting campaigns, meaning companies called him in to help them defeat union campaigns, right? And he worked on hundreds of those and he got paid a lot of money doing it. And he says, and these are his words, they use divide and conquer techniques. And he also, and this is a quote, the only way to bust a union is to lie, distort, manipulate, threaten, and always attack. These are the words of an ex-union buster who ran hundreds of union busting campaigns for big companies. So, how do we see that coming up at DBK4 at Amazon?
You probably already experienced it yourself. As we're saying, the name of the game is misinformation. If you've read any of the flyers that they have put on every table, which is a part of their union busting campaign, how easily you can see this. They put it in places that really they don't need to be there. They put them in work areas for fuck's sake, which is crazy. That means is like as soon as you read them, if you spend a bit of time reading exactly what's on it, like the one that says union dues are typically hundreds of dollars, which is the worst, most atrocious one, of course. Yes, they are hundreds of dollars. They are usually hundreds of dollars. Of course, things require money. It's like they're framing one of the more negative aspects, you could say, which I don't really consider dues negative because you're paying into something that protects you. but they try to frame these things in a way that makes you think about them negatively. They tell you about that flyer that says about the dues. It's a blank page with just that. It says nothing else about it. But if you think about what dues do, what it means, you immediately see that, hey, they're just like framing this in a negative light. There is no merit to this at all.
Yeah.
Another lie that I've seen, I think, there's which I don't even get. It's not a lie. It's just there. There's one that literally says associates might use your card to get other associates to sign. What does that mean? What does that even mean, man? Of course I'm gonna use that. What? Oh, your fellow employees signed on to get better wages. Oh no, I can't believe that. That's so dangerous.
Yeah. Okay, so just brass tacks, like the numbers. We haven't seen the numbers for last year yet. At least I haven't. But the US Department of Labor, they collect reports, they collect data on how much money companies spend on these anti-union consultants, on union busting firms. Let's back up. So generally a company is going to have their own union busters, right? They're going to have their own union busters that are in-house. And that's employee relations. HR plays a little bit of union busting functions, and also managers are trained to do union busting as well. Like some of you have seen, and Alvin, you keep bringing up that Amazon put out this training video specifically to its managers on how to spot signs that workers are unionizing or organizing and what they can do to encourage or scare those workers away from unionizing or organizing. So managers are trained up in union busting as well. HR is absolutely trained up in union busting. Employee relations is literally just a union busting department. That's what it exists for. But these are all in-house. There are also, as I said, entire firms, entire companies that their whole purpose is to offer their union busting services to big companies. So when a company purchases these consulting services from these union busting firms, they have to file with the Department of Labor. So we have a pretty good sense of how much money Amazon spends on outside union busting consultants. And in 2022, I haven't seen the numbers for 2023, but in 2022, it spent 14 million on outside union busting consultants to come help them perfect its own union busting. That's over 3 times as much as the company that was spent the second most, and that was Starbucks. The company pays around $3,000 per day plus expenses for every single consultant in these firms. So that means these union busters that you see walking around the warehouse, they're charging Amazon $3,000 per day plus expenses.
To lie to you.
To
That's
lie
their
to you.
job.
And these are the consultants we see walking around in the warehouse that are holding roundtables and coming to talk to us while we work. They're getting thousands of dollars a day to walk around and talk to you in the lanes and to hold those roundtables.
Those smiles are soulless, absolutely soulless.
Right.
They do
And why
not care about you.
totally. And tell me this, why do you think Amazon is willing to spend so much to soft talk and smile us and scare us out of unionizing? Why are they spending so much to do that?
Because honestly, a union means a strong and successful union means that they've lost control of the shop floor. They've lost control of how they're going to make profit. It's
Yeah.
not only them giving us a raise, it's them losing control and giving it over to us.
Yep, exactly. And that's what the guy I mentioned earlier who wrote Confessions of a Union Buster said is ultimately it is about control. They will spend any amount of money to retain control so that management can stay on as the dictators in the warehouse, as the tyrants in the warehouse, so they can dominate every aspect of your life. And of course, that control translates to more money. They will lose a lot more money by giving us all a $5 raise than they will lose by paying outside consultants 14 million and paying their own in-house, hundreds of millions more. They will lose more money by giving us a $5 raise, but down the road, they'll lose even more by management not being in control of the situation, by management having to negotiate with the workers as a collective over every policy change. They do not want that. They want absolute power. They want to dominate us. So $14 million to anti-union consultants $3,000 per consultant per day. That's nothing compared to what they stand to lose if workers have power. You've seen these union busters around the warehouse, right, Alvin?
I have had the misfortune. Also, I would love for one of them to come and talk to me, but they don't really like me. I'm guessing none of
Yeah.
them have introduced me, but whenever I walk by them talking to someone, they really like taking a good look. But other than that, all I can tell you is don't trust those two very tall white men. They're not here for you.
Wait, but I'm a tall white man.
Oh no, no.
Again, there are in-house union busters, there's employee relations, they're usually wearing pink vests. There's these other employee relations that are wearing like purple vests. There's
Man,
the
they get to wear any drip they want,
Yeah,
bro.
anything they want, any color of vest. But you know, a lot of these firms, you can look them up online and you can find out how much they're paying these union busters. And you know, these union busters, a lot of them are living in mansions. Like we've looked this up. You can find a lot of information online. And you know, one of the guys we see walking around DBK4, he's the same guy who walks around union busting at LDJ5 and at JFK8. Um, this guy, Greco Romero, you've probably seen him. He walks around and Amazon pays thousands and thousands of dollars a day, easily $3,000 a day to have him at our warehouse. And we've also been able to find that he's not just a union buster for Amazon, he's quite experienced. For instance, in 2016, he was paid up to $15,290 per week to do the exact same thing he's doing at Amazon for Hilton Embassy Suites. So he is an experienced union buster who has made millions of dollars walking around, spreading misinformation, manipulating workers, and scaring them out of unions. So next time you see this guy, just realize that you're not his first mark and that he has made millions of dollars doing this.
Please, Greco, come talk to me, Greco.
Yeah, watch
Come
this.
on, man.
Now that now that he's been exposed, they're not going to have him at the warehouse anymore. They're going to send him to the next warehouse.
God damn it.
So anyway, so yeah, that's what union busting is. We're going to get into more of the lies they tell you, how you know those are lies, and what the truth is in later episodes. But just keep thinking to yourself, why is Amazon paying millions of dollars to these people to come lie to us? Why are they so against having a union? And do you really think that Amazon has your best interest at heart? That they're willing to pay this guy thousands and thousands of dollars a week to come whisper in your ear? Do you really think they care about you that much? No, they care that you come to work and you do what you're supposed to do. And they're willing to shoulder any expense to make sure that keeps happening.
And remember, one of the most important parts that I can bestow upon you, union busters cannot outright lie to you. They're going to use big old bowl of word soup to make you think that Amazon is on your side. But just for a second, think about the things that they say to you. And as soon as you catch on to that pattern, you'll just realize that that whole wall of bullshit just comes crumbling down. They don't talk like normal human beings. They don't talk in tangible benefits. They sell you dreams. They sell you dreams that Amazon condones, and that's all it is. It's just an illusion.
Yeah, and let's talk about the sticks and carrots. We don't need to go too into it. You know, the metaphor, like if you want to make a horse move, you either hit it with a stick or you offer it a carrot. The carrots are the things that get you to move because you want it. Amazon's going to tell you about all its great benefits. You know, they're going to promise you
Well, they love their
promotion.
benefits.
Yeah, and you'll notice every time union activity ticks up, they'll do a new round of
Benefits
applications.
fair.
No, well, they'll do a benefits fair. They'll also do a new round of applications for blue vests and orange vests and green vests because they want you to think that, oh, if I keep my nose clean and do right by Amazon and work real hard, I can become one of these blue vests, which is not a paid promotion, but it's a little more work, a little more responsibility. And then I can become an orange vest, which is a slight paid promotion. But the fact is that like there's a fraction of a percent of people who are applying to become managers that actually become managers. That is a carrot, a false promise that they are dangling in front of your face to keep you in line. And then there's the sticks. There's the things that they're going to hit you with. They'll be like, oh, you might have to lose other benefits. Oh, the warehouse might close, or oh, you'll have to pay like things to scare you into not supporting the union. And some of these are lies and some of these are misinformation and some of them are just taken out of context. But they will use fear and they will use promises of gain. And it's illegal for them to use anything too explicitly. So sometimes they'll just imply, they can't explicitly ask you if you support the union. They can't explicitly tell you to vote no, but they'll make vague threats and vague promises.
It's all just very annoying. It's just very annoying. That's all I
Yeah.
can say about it.
So if you see these guys coming around, they are trying to play you. Don't get played. Amazon is trying to play you. Don't get played.
Oh,
Let's
hold on though. And hey, if you like gabbing, keep them on the line. If you can bullshit them, go ahead, bullshit them. Technically, you don't have to work as you're talking to them, so go ahead,
and
gab away.
technically, the longer you keep them occupied, the less time they have to go infest the minds of other workers.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. All right, everyone. It's been a pleasure. We will do the next episode on what is top of the mind to everyone, what is the biggest thing Amazon likes to point to scare you away from the union, the biggest stick. What's the deal with dues? I'm going to dedicate an entire episode to that because it is on the top of so many people's minds. Until
It has
then,
been put to the top of so many people's minds with the recent round of union busting as well.
yeah, and I'd like to appreciate Amazon and thank them for
Thank you, man. Thank you,
yeah,
Amazon.
for starting this conversation because I never shy away from this conversation. But it's helpful to have it on people's minds so we can really get to the bottom of what a union actually is and why it's worth paying dues to, and if and when you would actually have to pay dues. So that'll
We
be
also don't have to talk about it before the union vote, so thank you, Amazon. We're just getting our work done faster.
yes, sir. All right. Talk later. Thank you, everyone. This is Ira, and this is Amazon Unpacked for our special playlist, Unions 101.